All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome, Kevin. How's it going? Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Great to see you in here as always. All right, guys, today we're going to talk a little bit about pivoting and what we're doing, over here at Pixel, Unconventional Mindset, all that stuff. Lots to get into here today, and I do have a little bit of a document to kind of help propel the conversation forward, just so I don't ramble on a little bit too much. But anyways. How's it going? Welcome again. Hope you guys had a great weekend. The the unconventional Pixel set. Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of crazy to think about where we've come since we started this live stream, and since I basically quit my job and went live full time. So at the start here, if you're watching and you haven't and if you haven't seen any of my live streams, so basically we've been doing this for almost 2 years now. And initially the idea was to start and grow a web development company. And I think over the past couple of years, I've come to the realization that although I do enjoy doing web design and I do enjoy my clients and talking and interacting with my clients, it's not really the thing that really brings me the most amount of passion, and it doesn't really fill me with a really good sense of purpose and accomplishment at the end of the day. So it's kind of coming to that realization of thinking a little bit differently as to how we can go about, basically building a business that I'm going to enjoy waking up and performing to the top of my abilities like every single day. So yeah, lots to get into, and yeah, I guess where to start? I guess we could even talk a little bit about analytics and how things have been going since launching the podcast. So obviously we launched the podcast last Tuesday, which is amazing. New episode coming out tomorrow. And so that's basically been a week, not even a week. So let's take a look at the statistics. And I do think that every Monday it's going to be a good time to run down and look at the statistics and seeing how we're growing and see how things are moving forward, because we're going to get into in a minute what exactly it is that we're going to want to do and what we want to focus on. But I'm still totally new at this whole podcasting thing in terms of tracking stats and how things are looking and how things are working. So from Buzzsprout is the company that I'm using to actually host the audio portion of the podcast. And that has been distributed, I think, to a few different like apps or whatever. And it basically says that since we launched, we've had 4 downloads. 2 on music, 1 on Spotify, 1 on Apple. So it's a little bit, I'm not sure exactly how accurate this is, because if we go here to our Apple statistics, it shows that the podcast has had 8 plays. So I don't know what the discrepancy is and I really don't know what these numbers mean. So we're going to have to obviously get more analytics and get more actual people listening and downloading the shows till we can, I don't know, maybe have a really good description of what these numbers mean. So that's interesting. Anyways, so that's Apple. And then if we head on over to Spotify is a little different, because I think when we had our episodes, I took them out and put them as video episodes. And when they're video episodes, I don't think they're counted here in Buzzsprout, because these just count the audio, whereas these are completely video. So it's how many times it's been watched. So I guess you could see here, yeah, it's been started this one has been started 2 times. The other one's, I guess, not at all here over on Spotify. And then we have YouTube as well, and we can see our YouTube channel. And so far, I'm pretty happy about it. 78 views so far with the videos, with almost 20 hours of watch time. Rolando, how's it going? Welcome. Good to see you. How was your weekend? Hope all went well. It's been a while since we've connected, so looking forward to hearing your thoughts and stuff. And Rolando, I'll say right here, honestly, a huge thank you for your feedback. Very well received and very much appreciated. And everything that you said was pretty much spot on. And the one thing that, I've talked a lot about this with Andrea, because she's been the one who's been reviewing all the podcasts as well too. And she's like, there's lots to learn and lots to grow, lots to develop, but it's also your first time doing this. And it's actually pretty good for being like the first time actually interviewing people or having discussions with people on camera. So pretty happy with how things are going, but always looking for ways to improve. So I appreciate that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that too, as well going forward. So yeah, looking at the analytics, yeah, I'm pretty happy with how things are going. I think I could, what can we do? I think we could drill down a little bit more into content. So I think, yeah. So I'm looking at the impressions here, 5.5% click-through rate. I feel like that's pretty good. Anything over like 2 or 3, I think is a good number. But again, I don't really know. But this is what I really like, is that there's 14 minutes and 22 seconds of like average viewer time. So that's the thing that we really want to focus on these videos, is that people are not only, oh yeah, it says right here, 1344. People are actually not just clicking and then clicking off, right? I mean, some people are obviously, but getting that good viewership time, I think that's really, really important. And it goes to show kind of, I guess, how, sticky the show could be. So yeah. So anyways, that's the start. So in terms of my initial marketing, I haven't done very much yet too, which is something that we're going to need to work on. So basically what I've done is I've connected with my professional and my personal network and emailing them about the podcast and all that kind of stuff. And now I need to really get onto social media and start doing promotion on there. So that, I haven't done anything on this channel to promote it. So there's many people that are subscribed to this channel that don't even know that I have a podcast, all that kind of stuff. So lots of stuff to do to really promote and really get more buzz out there. So my weekend was very good during patronal festivities to celebrate my wife's birthday. Ah, cool. Patronal festivities. Yeah. Okay. So hopefully that went really well. But that was good over Super Bowl weekend, I guess. Yeah, it was the Super Bowl. I guess I'm not a Super Bowl fan. I didn't do anything for the Super Bowl myself. 8% click-through rate. It's not bad at all. Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, there's different numbers. So I think 5.5 is, like, if I got an 8%, that would be really good. I think it's different for, I guess, different episodes. I'm not sure, but it seems like 5.5 is my click-through rate. So I think it's just gonna take time for things to grow and develop, and we'll just go from there, I guess. Yeah. So okay. So let's take a look. I made this document here in Notion, just to talk about the next 30 days and kind of thinking again how we're going to be kind of pivoting the company, how we're going to be making money, and basically kind of putting them into like short-term chunks. Anyways, so I do have a short-term goal. So right now, the long-term plan, of course, is to have the Unconventional Mindset, that podcast, be the main thing of the business. That's like the hub of the business, the heart of the business, if you will. So with that in mind, the goal short-term is to increase the viewership as much as possible, right? And not to just get the vanity numbers up. Like, I don't care about how many, like, I want to get dedicated viewers, I guess. Not like, oh, one video got this many views and then people just leave, right? It's like I want to get dedicated listenerships. So I need to increase that. So how are we going to go about doing this? And I'm all ears to hear your feedback and your thoughts, guys, on how I could put things in place to try to help grow the show and grow the podcast. So the first thing I have here is to continue to reach out to potential guests and networking via social media. So a big thing I think I'm going to focus on is LinkedIn and connecting with people there on LinkedIn that are doing business or whatever. And I feel like it's a good place to reach out for to get some guests onto the show. And then the Halifax Chamber of Commerce. One thing that I want to say, guys, I'm going to be, so let's go into number 2, and then I could talk a little bit about one issue that I've kind of came across already. So number 2 is posting long form content right here on this YouTube channel here, not the Unconventional Mindset channel, but this channel here. And it's a thing that's been on my mind for a long time now, is to get back to doing these, 5-minute, 10-minute, whatever YouTube videos that are along the vein of what the whole unconventional mindset and what my whole kind of philosophy on life is all about. So talking about things that I'm doing to build myself a better life, right? And just making videos surrounding those topics. I think, Rolando, you were talking about that before. Kevin, I think you were talking about that as well too. So as an example, I could make videos on the things that I've learned after releasing my podcast, and I could talk about the things that I want to do for my fitness and following my fitness goals and kind of tracking that. So all the things that are related to the whole philosophy, again, of the unconventional mindset, make videos like that. And those are videos that I find on personal wellness or your personal, like, I don't know, just trying to better yourself, all that kind of stuff. Those videos, I find they tend to do quite well because I think they tap into a lot of today's troubles with finding happiness in your job or finding, just happiness in life. I think, I don't know, a lot of people I feel are kind of caught in a little bit of situation that I'm at in terms of maybe not liking their job and wanting to do something different, but not really knowing how to go about that, right? So just documenting that stuff and making videos around my thoughts on that. So I really want to do that. And one of the things that I just wanted to mention here about the things that I've learned on starting a podcast. So obviously I wanted to launch with the 3 episodes, which I think was really good. Whether that was the best thing to do or not, it's kind of hard to say because I haven't launched a podcast simultaneously with just 1 episode. But I got those 3 initial episodes, and I have one ready to go that, it's filmed ready to go for Tuesday. But one problem that I'm already running into is so far I've had 7 people agree to come on the show. We filmed 4 of them, and 3 of them are not scheduled until like the end, like probably from mid-March to early April. So it's one thing that I hadn't anticipated is from the people that like my initial crowd of people that I'm going to get onto the show, it's scheduled out a lot further than really meets my schedule, because right now as it is, I don't have a guest or an episode lined up for next week. So it's giving me a little bit of a pause here to think of like, oh shoot, now I want to release an episode every week, but now it could be that if I don't get someone to come and record an episode this week, I won't have anything for the next Tuesday. So it's one thing to consider about scheduling, and maybe what I should have done if, like, it's not going to be a deal breaker for me if I don't have an episode to go for the next Tuesday. But of all the people that I initially was scheduling and all that kind of stuff, I didn't consider the fact that I could have been like, what am I trying to say? I didn't know that the scheduling would have been so out of whack that these people would say yes, but then yet when they came to scheduling, it was way out into March and April. And Rolando, you're going to really like this though, because one person is they are in the government here in the province in Canada. So I'm super excited about that. But of course, the person's super busy because they are obviously in the government. And I think that's going to be a phenomenal episode talking about business and all that kind of stuff. But again, these types of people, they're just really busy. So it's kind of annoying, but it's one thing that I'm dealing with. So one of those things I'll probably talk about in a video about the things that I've learned, just starting the podcast. What is the personal statement of unconventional mindset? The goal as a service, I mean. Well, I guess what I could say is it's a thing that I've written down in kind of all the messaging for the podcast, is that it's a place where we're going to sit down and have conversations with interesting people, with entertaining people, and people that can teach us and give them lessons that they've learned on how to live a better life. And that's basically kind of it. But there's right now a strong focus on people teaching and giving lessons based on their experiences with their own business. So far, I would say, there's 4 people. So all of them have their own businesses and they're all entrepreneurs and they all are in their own kind of industry. And they've all given some, in my opinion, some pretty good knowledge and experience and words of wisdom in business that's related to them. So that's kind of where we're at right now with the unconventional mindset. But again, that's for us, for the interviewees. Oh, so the question is, so I'm not really sure what you're asking here. As in, like, are you asking what's in it for them to come on the show? Is that kind of what you're asking? I'm just not quite sure what you're getting at for that. But obviously I want to think of, the most important thing is to think about the audience and what the audience wants. And the types of guests and the types of content that you guys want. I know for you, Rolando, I'm close to wrangling up some people in the marketing space and in the web design space. I want to get those guys in here, and we're going to talk a lot about that kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. But so we gain knowledge from their experiences, but do they that they earn for the business? So well, there's a couple things. There's some social media content that I've already given to people that have been on the show, so they could use that for their online social media presence. The second part is, so far, a lot of the people are in my kind of network right now, and they just love coming on. Like it's kind of funny where the people were thanking me so much for the opportunity, but like I'm thanking them. I'm like, thank you so much for agreeing to come on the show. But they're like, I'm reaching out to them, and they're just like, I would love to be on the show. I can't wait. I'm super excited. And it's like people just want to do it almost out of the goodness of their own hearts, which is kind of something that caught me, I guess, a little bit by surprise. It's not like, well, what's in it for me kind of thing. So they're coming on the show because they love doing it, and everyone so far has had a really great time on the show. And I think obviously for me, I'm telling them that I'm going to be promoting it to my audience, how small it is right now, because it's kind of tough because we're really small. So it's not like I can say, hey, come on the show and, you're going to get 4 downloads. That's not very appealing, right? So for right now, it's, I don't know. It's, it hasn't really so far been a deterrent for people. I mean, some people I've reached out to, they haven't even gotten back to me at all. So it's tough to say that maybe I'm too small. It's quite possible. And I think we're just going to have to go with, I don't know, we'll just go with the flow, I guess. I don't think that really answers your question, but yeah, hopefully, obviously, as we get bigger, it's just going to be pretty much known that, hey, if you come on the show, your business is going to get exposed to a broader audience of people, and it's going to help you spread your message, especially if people are on social media. They kind of understand that being on social media is kind of a good thing, especially if their business is in a positive light. Anyways, okay. So that being said, so that's number 2. So number 3, this is something, again, I haven't started. I have all this short form content and clips, and Rolando, you were especially making this known to me about some channels that you follow that have a lot of shorts, a lot of clips and all that kind of stuff, generating lots of views and lots of, they obviously have like millions of subscribers. So definitely want to try to replicate that model, but I have, as of yet, I'm still sitting on all this content, haven't had the time to figure out how to basically post it. I want to have at least a little bit of a strategy in terms of what to do in the descriptions and all that kind of stuff, and how to engage with people that engage with that content. So I'm still trying to work that out, but that's going to come soon, so I can start releasing all of that content, which again will help with this initial promotion of trying to promote the podcast on social media, which I haven't done yet. It's just been my internal network, right? So that's going to be a big thing. And the fourth one is I want to find a community of people that are interested in podcasting and just try to provide value into that community, right? So I was thinking of Reddit. I don't know if there's any other forums or other places where people are converging and just talking about podcasting. And if people are asking, hey, how do I do this edit, or what kind of microphone do I need, or how do I get guests, or how do I, whatever the case may be, just go out there and just try to answer those questions as much as possible, to just be engaged and not looking for anything back. And if in my profile or something just has a link to my own podcast, and then, a couple people will just trickle in here and there, and, every view, every person helps, right? So the more we can do, the more we can put out to the world, the more, hopefully can come back to us, right? So that was actually really cool from Rick. So if you haven't seen the podcast episode with, I think it's the number 3 with Rick Scott, a really great guy. He's really talking a lot about him being a firm believer of whatever you put out to the world, you kind of get back, So, and I like that philosophy as well. If you keep putting things out there, giving value to people without expecting much in return, things kind of return back to you, just from people's genuine desire to reciprocate from the things that you do. If I go out and give people a bunch of stuff, like in your life, just think about the times when you've done something nice for somebody, how they just in turn almost want and feel obligated to do something nice in return to you, right? So it's one of those kind of human condition things. So anyways, really, really cool. Really great talk too. So definitely have listened to that when I plug my own podcast here. Right. Okay. So this is the big one here as well too, is creating a membership website. Yeah, so Rolando, thinking about the whole capitalism here and, how we can make money off things, and, it's okay to create things and try to get some value out of that. So we're definitely going to be building a membership website, which again, the unconventional mindset is the heart of everything. So people that are wanting to look to better their life, whether they want to start a business or whether, as I'm going to be talking about, losing weight and getting in shape and all that kind of stuff, building relationships, people that are going to want to do that, if they want to join the membership, it's going to be available for those types of people. And I would absolutely love to create a community of people that are motivating each other to start a business, grow their business, talk about what's working, what's not working, all that kind of stuff, and just have a very supportive group of people helping each other become successful. So looking forward to that. And what that means as well too is I'm just on the process of finishing my own personal website, of just updating a little bit, where all the free content I have, the videos that I'm going to be doing, the newsletters that I'm going to be writing, and of course the podcast that I'm doing, putting it all on one place, and then of course to launch over into the membership site. And I just have it right here. I'll just zoom in a little bit. Just a thing that I'm working on is the site, which is hopefully going to be ready to go in a few days here. Again, just a home, just a home, I would say home base, but just a home for all the content that I'm putting out here. So basically the podcast, the videos, and the newsletter. So just a little bit about me here, subscribe to the newsletter, and then here's episodes of the podcast, videos that I'm making. These are just dummy placeholder stuff, and newsletter content as well too. Very, very simple website, nothing too crazy here at all, but all the content that I push just in one space. And then of course the join the community, which will take you to a login to the Circle platform, which is the platform that I'm pretty sure that I've decided is going to be the home base for creating the community. I don't know if you've heard of this one. It's a little bit pricey for what we're going to get. I think we're going to have to start at like $89 a month. And they also charge 2% transaction fee, which is super annoying. But anyways, I think this is going to be the best thing for me, because you can have courses on here, you can have live streams, and then there's gamification in terms of, when the people that comment the most, they rise to the top, all that kind of stuff. So there's lots of cool stuff that can be done within here. So that's where we're going to go with that. And if you guys want to see how that's going in terms of me launching it, or if you want me to live stream the process of setting it all up or whatever, just do let me know. I'm happy to do that, because that's going to be coming hopefully sooner rather than later. So with that membership site, what I want to do is I want to actually create resources for that as well too. So and even courses. So I'm just thinking about what kind of courses could I make. It could be courses on podcasting, things about finding and organizing guests, the podcast production, video editing, all that kind of stuff. How to prepare for a conversation. That's another thing as well too. That's a big thing. Things that I've been trying to learn, and things that I've been looking up on YouTube and other places, of like, how do you prepare for meetings? What is it to do? Because again, I think interviewing people and having a conversations is like a skill, and there are specific tactics that you can have in order to get better at it. But then there's also things that you just need to practice in order to develop that skill as well too. And so it could be other things as well too. If you think about assets like PDFs, templates, could be all kinds of different things. It could even be like Notion templates. The sky's the limit in terms of whatever we can create, as long as obviously we're creating it to make our lives better within the unconventional mindset, and then having it out for other people that they can use in their business as well too. So looking forward to that. And then I was just thinking in terms of pricing, having 3 different tiers, a small tier, which is just $9 a month, and then you get access to the community, and then different assets as well, whether those are just, again, the PDFs or the templates or whatever. And then there could be a quarterly, whatever, bronze, silver, gold, whatever you want to call it. This is a little bit more expensive, but then you get office hours. If you want to sit down and have chats with me, and other people that we can even get on as community leaders or what have you. Maybe the people that have already been on the podcast, maybe they want to set aside a time to come in and do like a seminar or whatever. That's their area of expertise. Things like that I think would be really, really cool and be really could benefit a lot of people, right? Like, say I get a lawyer to come on the show as an example, talking about how to set up your corporations or whatever the case may be. And then they can have it where they can come on and do like a 1 hour seminar. So instead of paying, $500 to talk to a lawyer, maybe you can come on to the membership and then you get access to that lawyer for whatever the cost, right? So things like that I'm thinking of doing. I think that'll be really beneficial to people that are looking, to start their own business or whatever. And yeah, just the different pricing tiers. Anyways, that's the thoughts. Those are the ideas of the things that I want to do to help kind of grow the business. This year, I guess that'll help grow the business as well too, but this is more logistics. I'm just dumping a bunch of stuff here too. So maybe it might not make sense in terms of, short-term goal here, of growing, the podcast viewership. But in any event, I have this thing here of, okay, so our goal, of course, in the grand scheme of things, this live stream is how to build $1 million business. We're still trying to build $1 million business, but we're switching from Pixel more towards the unconventional mindset. And so how are we going to make money? I think the biggest thing we're going to make money from is going to come from the community membership. And then the other ways that we can make money, YouTube ads, sponsorships, as we get bigger and bigger, obviously, so that's not going to come until we, cross a certain threshold of, daily downloads or whatever. And of course, YouTube, you have to get to 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, I think. So, so we got to grow it there. And thinking out loud of things that we could potentially do in the future, you can have products. So what would that look like? I have no idea. Whether it's like, I'm almost thinking like a physical product, whether, like, is it t-shirts? Is it coffee mugs? Is it specific types of journals? Who knows what you can make? Whatever that's branded unconventional mindset could be something that we can do. Again, just writing things down because you never know what's going to happen. And then software. I love building software. That's always kind of been my thing. And maybe there's a potential software to build, whether it's software for community or that's one thing that I've always had in my mind. But yeah, who knows? It's just open, just writing things down, and we'll see what happens from there. And then I have a secondary goal. So primary goal, getting people to the podcast. And then a secondary goal now is until all of these things here, until the podcast is at a level where we can actually start generating revenue from that. And I don't know exactly how long that's going to take. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but you never know. So until that time comes, I still need to put food on the table. So I think what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, I think we could do this really quick, is update Pixel, which is our website. Let's just bring it up here, actually. So update this website, which again, right now is just focused on web design, but update it to offer a couple different services, which I think will be more in line with what we're doing with the unconventional mindset. And that is, where are we here? Is this studio space right here. I think it's a great studio space. Everyone's complimented me that they've been in here, said it's a really great, comfortable space. And it's a space now that if people want to record their own podcast, I would be more than willing to have them come in here. I could engineer the whole thing for them and they can just record their own podcast. So I can help people do that. And we could just rent out the office at, I don't know, I was just thinking right now, $100 an hour, right? So we can do that. And if we only get a few people that want to have a show, that could help bring in just a few extra $100 a month. Every dollar helps, which is nice. So there's that. And the second thing I was thinking about, again, I'm not sure if I'm going to even start to put this on the website right now, but if there are people that want to create an online course, because obviously I'm going to be creating my own courses. I'm in the process right now of putting them together. Man, there's so much to do and there's so much going on right now. But I'm in the process of putting that together. And so I'm going to have my own steps of what it takes to actually build and create a course from start to finish. So that's a service too that I can offer. And that's maybe, I was also thinking, it depends on the size of the person and the size of their audience and what they're planning on building and how much time it's going to take to shoot and edit and all that kind of stuff. And, it could be a flat fee. It could be some kind of equity thing. It's like, okay, well, if you think you're going to be making, $100,000 or whatever, maybe we can do something where I could take 10% or whatever up to a certain amount of money, and whatever. There's different things, especially if they don't have the cash up front to be able to pay for it. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's something that I might put up on the website. And then the third thing, of course, we can still have web design and management. So it's up there right now. And we're not pushing that kind of thing right now. But of course, if people ask and people want to work with me for that because they like what I do and what have you, it could still be an option there. But I do have it under a question mark because I do know that eventually I want to move away from that. So we'll kind of have to see how that's all going to, how that's all going to play out, basically. So that's really the plan. That's how we're hopefully going to be able to start to really seriously bring in some, I guess, consistent revenue into the business and have a really strong focus on where we're going to go and how we, at least for now, how we think we're going to get there. So I'm pretty excited about it. Actually, what I should say, I'm not pretty excited about it. I'm doing these podcasts and having these conversations with these guests. I've actually, I've loved it. I can't even really describe, I knew I was going to enjoy it. And I knew I was going to like it, but the extent that I like it, even above and beyond what I thought it was going to be, is just amazing to me. If I could, and sit down and have a different conversation with a new person every single day, I would totally do it because it would just be so much fun. I mean, maybe once a day would be a little bit too much considering the amount of research and stuff it takes, but just to have those conversations and interactions with people and to learn from them, to learn what they're doing, and being able to think about how I can incorporate the best parts of what I've learned from them and incorporate that into my business and into my life. It's just, I don't know. It's just the opportunity for growth, at least for myself. It's just, I don't know. It's just so much to learn from other people and to be open from learning from other people. I think it makes you grow that much faster. Why try to do everything on your own by yourself without getting any feedback from anybody else? If you can have the information and knowledge from other people and absorb it, you're going to be so far ahead of the game. And that's the one thing that I've really learned so far, is that I've always been the type of person to always want to just do it on my own, show everybody I can do it. I don't need help from anybody. I'll put the blood, sweat, and tears for years into trying to build something. I don't need any help. And I'm slowly realizing that it's such a stupid way to think. If you can get help and you can get experience and knowledge from other people to help catapult you to where you want to go faster, it's just stupid not to do that. And it's something that I'm learning, and it's something that I'm trying to figure out how I could really use that information to help the unconventional mindset succeed. And not only succeed, slowly, but to do it really, really quickly. Because I do think that, I might have it in my mindset and a goal that, hey, I want to start making revenue with this in 12 months. I think if I really put forth all the knowledge and experience that I'm already getting from people, kind of helping me along this process, I think I'll get there way, way faster than that. Get to the 1,000 YouTube subs, start monetizing that channel, start to think about people that are sponsorships they might want to come knocking on the door, being full with me not having to go out and get people to come on the show, but them asking me to come on the show and flooding my inbox. And so I really think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. But of course, it's up to me to just really work hard to make sure that I'm doing the right things in the business going forward and reaching out to the right people to get help along the way. So yeah, I don't know, really love it. And I feel like my goals and the things that I'm doing to work towards my goals are all in alignment, right? What is it that where I want to be, who I am, and who I want to be are all in alignment with what I'm doing, and it's giving me a sense of purpose. And it's I almost go to bed now and I'm almost excited for the next morning to work on the things that I want to work on to get to where I want to be. So even last night I was just thinking oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this stuff on LinkedIn and blah, 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 all these things. And I'm just actually excited for doing it. And then I'm oh shoot, I got to go to bed. It's I don't have enough, like, it's almost like there's not enough hours in the day for me to get all the stuff that I want to get done. And it's been a long time since I've had that feeling. So I'm really, really excited with how things are going. So yeah, I think I've rambled on quite a bit here. So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else. If there's, I think there's a couple people here in the audience watching. Again, obviously, thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any questions or whatever, just let me know in the chat before I log off here. I know now, once my throat gets so dry from talking so much, I know that I've been talking for too long and too much rambling. It's one thing that I'm trying to do and trying to figure out how to balance my own ramblings with letting the guests talk as well in my episodes, because yes, it is a conversation, but at the same time, you don't want to just interrupt and interject all the time in a podcast, because then it just becomes really annoying at the host always interrupting the guests. So one of the things that I'm working on. Okay. All right. Well, Rolando, Kevin, thank you so much for dropping by and saying hello. Glad you guys had a great weekend. And yeah, thank you for everyone who stopped by, dropped in. Give this video a like. I would really appreciate that. As for me, I will, as always, I guess, be back here for another live stream on Monday. We'll have a new podcast to be released on Tuesday, and then we'll have another week, and we'll come back and we'll see the stats and how things are going and how much that we've grown the podcast. So hopefully we'll get, obviously, let's maybe aim for getting like twice as many views as we did when we first launched. Maybe we can do that, and we'll come together back here on Monday to see how we've done. All right, guys. Until then, have a great rest of your week. Keep plugging away at your business. Wishing you all the success and happiness that comes with it. And we'll see you on Monday.